Yes, people, how is everyone? How is everyone? So, part two of this fun little sort of transfer investigation here that we're going on. Looking at players we could potentially sign. Today, we're going to do midfielders, that's central, maybe some attacking, some defensive, and we're going to do defenders as well. Don't the fullbacks. I've not gone in on centre backs. I've got one or two, but I've not gone in on it just based on how many we have. It's hard to really understand how many we're going to bring in, what type we're bringing in when we have 7 or 8 centre backs at the club currently. We'll start with centre midfielders. Let's go. First one, Gustavo Haaland. Everyone saw him in the playoff final. Really good player. Gettable for me. 10 assists, 9 goals in 41 appearances for Coventry this season. He's been one of their best players, one of the mainstays in the team. You know, came from the Dutch league, from Feyenoord, then to FC Zwolle, and then to Coventry for 1.5. The value of him, 4.5. You know, you have to pay a bit for him. You'll have to pay, I'd imagine, it'd be around 10 million. A quality player. A quick look at his stats. There, look, as you can see, this is comparison with people around him in his position. At the same level, as you can see, a lot of greens. Gets good assists, good goals. He creates a lot of chances. His pass completion isn't brilliant, but his passes attempted, his progressive passes is good. His carries is good. Take-ons is good. He's a bit of everything. He can defend as well. He's got decent defending stats. He is that kind of box-to-box, run with the ball, create a chance, create a pass, create a goal type player. This guy would be a statement again, and I think if we could get Gustavo Haaland, and I think it's very doable. Hence why this is the realistic part, by the way. I'm doing the realistic bit first. Hence why he's in here. Hence why I think we could get him. Hence why if we give him the right package, he'd come in no second. I'm pretty sure he's in the last year of his contract as well, or he's approaching it. Yeah, 2024 his contract expires. He's coming to the last year of it. Got to do this for me, Leeds. Unless there's a Premier League team on the horizon for him, again, that is big dependent. If not, go for it. In my opinion, it's a good one. It's a big one. To the next. Second one is this guy right here. John Swift. John Swift. Look. Another player similar in that similar kind of bracket to him, or in terms of what he can bring to a team. But it's a different role. Swift's a little bit, in my opinion, is a little bit more centered around keeping the ball, progressing the ball, where Hamer is a bit of box to box. This guy can really control a game. He can dictate a game with his passing, can move around. A guy, again, in a poor Reading side who have just been relegated, I believe. Right? Reading have been relegated, haven't they? I think they have. He's not even at Reading. He's at West Brom. Ignore me. A guy at West Brom. He was at Reading. Again, a team that finished out the playoffs. We come in with a good offer. The type of player we can attract. I know that there's been interest in the past. Played for England under 21s 13 times. He's a top class player at that level. And if you can scalp in and him and Hamer in there, it really covers your central. And look at his stats. It's all about the passing stats for him, right? All this stuff is the Hamer role. For him, it's about progressive passes, pass completion, passes attempted, shot creating actions and assists. If we don't get both of them, I'd be disappointed. But I think if we did get one of them, you know, even one of them, for me, is a good scalp. If you can keep Adams, which will be unlikely, but if you can do that as well, real options. And I think we've got to be bullish. We've got to pay these values. 5 million probably goes for 8 or 9. We've got to do that. We've got to get the team we need. And these two players I showed now are probably the two main central midfield targets that a lot of teams around us will be going for. So that's them two down. And there's another one. Now we're going to wildcard. There's a few players in here. There's 2 players in wildcard that I'm interested in. Again, based on what I've seen this season. We'll get the first one up. It's this guy here. This guy right here. Sorry, I can't read. Jeez, I read it in my head. I forgot there's a video. Adem Zagane. Now, again, you've probably not heard of him. He plays in the Belgian league, so I've seen a little bit of him this season. Very technical type player. Kind of reminded me of, how do I explain it? A bit like Click, but a bit of a bigger frame, a lot more quicker with his feet potentially, but his movement, his passing is very similar to Click in that sense. 8 assists and 4 goals this season. He's a mainstay in the team. Not a bad value. Again, you're probably looking at a little bit more, probably about 8 or 9. Better player in central midfield again, with potential. 23 years old, young guy still. A guy that I think is very doable. I said wildcard because I wasn't sure about his stature in the game. I don't know. I'm not sure if his team's looking for him. It's a bit out there. But looking at Hamer, players like that, of that ilk, I think there's definitely potential for this guy in the Championship. Here is FB. There's no things on him here. But assists in the Belgian division, 3rd. Red cards, 8th. But that's it, is the assists. It's the chances he creates. It's his technical ability. It's his ability to hold the ball and dictate play. That's where I've got this guy in there. With a good value and a good age as well. Yeah. One more wild card. And this one is wild, by the way. This central midfield still. This one is real wild. Sometimes I get feelings about players. I like this one. Ian Fitzjim from Ajax. Now, you guys might remember we played him in pre-season 2 seasons ago. Played in central midfield for Ajax on that day. And he absolutely tore us apart. Very good young player. Struggling to get game time at Ajax. He went to the second team. He went to the second tier. He got 6 assists and 3 goals. For me, it's a risk player. If you get him in, good value. It'll be more than that, though. He'll be worth more than that. If you get him in, he is the risk. But the upside to that risk could be huge. And also, if you did bring him in, you'd obviously have to be relying on, we have other options in there just in case it didn't work out. He's a real talented player. Really talented player. Technical ability is insane. He's got pace. He can defend well as well. Real talented player. Ian Fitzjim. He is one, which would be a risk, but if you can back players around him, maybe give him a year to bed in or a few months to bed in, you might not even need that. He's a very good player, and I think he just needs to grow a little bit more in his stature, understanding of other things. A real player in there. That's my wild card for this one. A really talented player. If you've not seen him, I'd advise to do a bit of research on Ian Fitzjim. Very talented player, and is liked a lot in Holland and at Ajax. He's struggling for that game time. I've got one more central midfielder, and that's unrealistic. Let's get onto it. Here we go. This guy right here, and if you can say his name, congratulations. Get rid of this ad. Jurgen Ekkelenkamp. Right, we'll go with that. Again, plays in Jupiter. Plays in Belgium for Royal Antwerp. I put really unrealistic or ambitious type signing because, yeah, he came from, I think it was, Hertha Berlin. He played Ajax when he was younger. Real pedigree in there. Went for 5 million. Done well this season at Antwerp. 5 goals and 7 assists from central midfield. Play attacking midfield. But again, it's that type of player which, if you could get, it's a real scalp. And you're really stating your intentions in that league, right? If you can get a player like him in. Let's have a quick look at his stats. There's not them in the league, is there, obviously, but if you go down here, you can see these are all the stats. If you want to look at them, this FB ref, use it for everything. They're all down here, his stats. Look at leaderboard. So in the Belgian league, assists, joint 7th, assists per 90, 4th. Non-penalty goals is in 10th, shots on target 10th, 5th in, I don't know what that is. Shots on goals on target, 3rd and 9th. Shots per 90, 9th. Good player. I think he's slightly underperforming what he can do. 23 years old. Decent value. It'd probably be about 8 and 9 again. It's that range in which we need to go to play with potential. And I think since he's been at Ajax, he's probably gone down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? To what his stock once was. But I still think he's a real talented player that would tear up the Championship, and one which we should get in that attacking role, on that central role, another player in that ilk. Yeah, that's the central midfielders. We're going to get onto fullbacks now. Some real good. This was my favourite bit, doing some fullbacks, because there's one guy that I really rate. I had to watch him a lot this season. Get onto that now. First one I'm going with is Ryan Giles. So Ryan Giles has just been at Middlesbrough this year on loan from Wolves. valued at £7 million, 23 years old, played 45 times this season for Middlesbrough, had 11 assists, which is one of the top in the Championship. Very talented player. I'm worried about if he would fit in at Wolves, given their depth in left back. They have a few players that play there. Again, is he the type of player that maybe Wolves will take a chance on, given how good he's been this season, potentially? But I still think if not, there's realism there that you could get him potentially as a transfer or on loan. For Ryan Giles, he's been really good this year in the Championship. He's absolutely torn it up. As you can see here, assist, expected assists, shot creating actions, passes attempted, completions a bit meh, progressive carries and all that. Tackles not the best, and probably not the best defensively, but good going forward. Yeah, look, as you can see, this is fullbacks. This is well, in the Championship altogether. First for assists in terms of fullbacks. Appearances, assists per 93rd. You know what I mean? Like expected assists first, assists per 91st, key passes fourth, passing to penalty area first, crossing to penalty area first, crosses first. Getting the picture here. Expected assists first. Dribble passed. Percentage of dribblers tackled, 8th. Decent. Progressive carries, 8th. So you get the picture. Very decent fullback. Decent tackler. Doesn't tackle a lot in a game. Maybe that's based on the system, Middlesbrough play. But again, as you saw, he doesn't get beaten that much. A solid fullback for the Championship. Done really well this season. He'd be our number 1 target. And then there's this man right here. Ryan Manning. Now, I believe Ryan Manning is currently now a free agent. The reason, and look at them stats, 43 appearances, 5 goals, 10 assists. I strongly believe he will be in the Premier League. I think as a free agent, a Premier League side will take a hint on him. He's probably been the best fullback in the Championship this year. A lot of people have said that. His stats are incredible. He's had a brilliant season with Swansea. Definitely ready for the Prem. Look at them right there. Very good. All around stats. Go down here real quick. As you can see, here is stats: assists 5th, tackles made, whatever, 2nd. Yeah, you can look that for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Very good things there. Got a bit of everything. Progressive passes 4th. Like, these 2 fullbacks that I've done now are probably the 2 main targets we should go for at left back. It's a no-brainer for me. Get one or the other if they are available. Ryan Manning is a free agent, so there's no value there. I think he's being released or he's going to be released end of his contract. There'll be Premier League clubs all over it, but that's my thing for Ryan Manning. Now, the next one. This is a guy I watched a lot of because of I did some work for the Belgium thing, a little bit of like coding stuff. I've watched this guy thousands of times. Great player. Luis Patrice, 21-year-old Belgian fullback, right back actually, and plays centre back. He plays for Leuven. 21 years old, very young, a lot of experience in the under-21 setup. Very good player. I've watched him a lot. This is just a trust me type one. Type of player, again, I put it in realistic because I just don't think there's that buzz yet. And I think 8 assists and 2 goals in 30 appearances from an okay side, but not a great one, in Belgium at the age of 21. He reminds me a lot of, and what I mean by this is prime Luke Haaland. When he would progress the ball, he absolutely loves overlaps and underlaps. He loves getting forward. He's tall, he's rangy, he's deceivingly fast as well. You know, he gets caught out a little bit defensively sometimes. He daydreams a little bit at times. A decent tackler as well. Very long. Doesn't get beat often, but can often get beat, you know, like everyone can. But this guy, Luis Patrice, is one that we probably won't get because he's very niche, but a very good fullback. I think he'll have a big future ahead of him personally. And as we can see, this is a thing in the Belgian First Division. Tackles 1, first. Interceptions, second. Fouls committed, 6th. Love that. It's these two here. He's also going forward with the 8 assists as well. So it's clear he's got both. There's a bit of both in him. I think he'd be a great signing if we did get someone like this in. Genuinely. That's it on that one. Another solid, more experienced option would be this guy right here. This is a hard one to set. Maximilian Witek. Witek. Again, experienced this season. Value of 2 million, that'd be more, clearly. Left back, 27 years old, a bit more experience. 31 appearances. This is in the Holland, in the Holland, yeah, Eredivisie. I can't speak. Eredivisie. Jesus. 7 assists, 3 goals. Solid left back. Decent stats. Done well this year, as we can see here. Again, decent, not terrible defensively, not terrible passing, very good going forward. Got his key attributes down here. Yeah, look, very solid. Key passes, 4th. You know, crosses, 5th, 2nd this season, 2nd. Tackles 1, 1st in the Bundesliga, 5th this season. Yeah. Dribblers tackled, 2nd, so you don't get beat often. Good, solid player right there. This is one, again, we should look into. Decent value as well, and a decent age in his prime. Now we're going to go unrealistic. And I said unrealistic because I just think this guy's insane. A lot to grow and learn. It's Milan van Ujic. Can't say his name. I apologise to the player. This guy. Value of 5 million, 22 years, young. Now this guy is, as you can see, stats there. This guy is absolutely rapid. I mean it. Absolutely rapid. Going forward, he's a menace. He's been robbed of assists this season. He should have at least 5 or 6. Very raw, but very good going forward. Extremely good dribbler. And I mean it. Extremely good dribbler. Definitely more of a harder one to get. I imagine there's top clubs that might be looking at him, but potentially we're a year early. For that, as you can see here, look, it's clear. Yeah, look at his progressive passes. He's a runner, guys. He runs the ball up that pitch and crosses it. Or shoots. He's got a decent strike on him. Very good player. Decent defensively as well. Passing has work, but he doesn't pass a lot in the game. 72% is horrible. He doesn't pass a lot. He runs with the ball. This is definitely one to look at here. Because I think he'll play for a big club in a few years. If we can get there slightly early, you know, have a good year with us, get him into the Premier League, he'd be developing. Great signing, in my opinion. Last one, fullback. And it's this guy, and this is unrealistic. Just based on his performance this year, who he plays for. But this is Smal. Plays for FC20 in Holland. 25 years old. 34 appearances, 10 assists, 2 goals for a side that have done very well in FC20 this year. That's why his stock's a little higher. Valued at 4 million, but it'll be double that, at least. Done very well this year for FC20. 4 appearances, 2 assists in the Europa Conference League. Probably on Premier League teams' radars or other teams in Europe's radars. But one, if we're ambitious, you could probably go for. Look at his stats here. Solid all around. Yeah. Goals, assists, expected goals, expected shot creating actions, passes, decent. Progressive passes, decent. Progressive carries, decent. Defensively, all right, fine. Tackles, decent. Good player. Good player. And the point with all these fullbacks is I think dominantly a lot of them are available. I don't think any of them are out of the range of possibility. I think they're all doable if we have the right package and depending on, you know, if we get there before other teams. That's it for fullbacks, but some really good options that I really enjoyed doing in there. Now on to the centre backs, and there's not a lot, but here they are. First centre back is this guy, Mies Hilgers. Young centre back playing for FC20 again. I've kind of gone for this team here. I like them, and these are ambitious, but these are young centre backs that I think have a lot of potential in the game. And this guy right here, Mies Hilgers, one for that value again would be probably double that. But you're looking at a player who's played a lot in the top flight for a good side. He's played 28 times this season. Let's look at his stats. Again, as you can see, solid on the ball. I think that's important. Again, look at this. He doesn't great assist. Very good on the ball. Passes very good. Calm on the ball. Can play the ball out. We're missing that solid ball playing centre back, similar to Ben White. Decent tackles, interceptions, block. He's fairly quick. Not great in the air, but you see in the type of person we could go for. Maybe this is a loan. Maybe this is a buy. Maybe he's out of our range. I don't know. He's a bit of an experiment, I guess, because he's had a very good season for FC20. Played a lot of games. He's only 22 and he's got decent stats. I think for me, there's definitely potential in there with this guy. Final one in terms of centre backs. Final one for the video, actually. Javier Mbouamba. Again, similar to what I just said, probably a little more raw, probably more of a risk. But he's a huge lad. He's absolutely massive. Scored 5 goals from centre back. He plays in the Dutch team. I did Eredivisie. Got it. 5 goals. Very good aerially. Very good in the air from corners. Scored all them from corners, I believe. Very long. Very quick as well. Good recovery. Good tackler. Probably the type of player you could play next to a Max Voba to really grow an experience. And again, in a side that I don't think top teams yet will have his eye on him. He was at Barcelona, he moved to Chelsea, then he moved to Holland. So there's pedigree there. There's definitely pedigree there in this guy. His stats quickly. Again, as you can see, not great passer. That's not terrible, but not a great passer. Everything else is spot on with this guy. Very good in the air, very good at blocks, clearances, decent carries, touches the ball a lot. Good goals for a centre back. Kind of the opposite to the other person, the other guy I showed. But these are just 2 examples I've got centre backs. I didn't go ham on centre backs based on how many we have. But I think some younger guys who could have potential to really excel in the Championship is what I went for, and that's why I went for these 2. And that's it. I've not gone goalkeepers because I just think we'll stick with Robles. I think it's pointless. There's probably a young keeper we could go for. There's loads out there. But that's what I've gone for. I don't know what you guys think on this. I'm going to do another video based on recruitment on like my starting 11 next season, but I'm going to wait for a coach. I need to know what coach we have for that. I'm also going to do a coach video coming soon, which manager we're going to get. But yeah, I've enjoyed this. This is fun. Let me know what you guys think. Who out of these guys stands out to you? Obviously, the guys who have proven it are very good, but there's some very good younger players in here that I think have really good technical ability, good other ability as well. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate the support as usual.